Hi everyone, so it's Jerry. Just excuse my hair, it's a bit de mekaar. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys quickly on Sean's turbo something here. This is what happens if you cannot adjust the turbo right, or set up the turbo right. In my opinion, just do the EGR, protecting the motor and stuff like that. This is how critical it actually is. I'm going to try and do it a little bit more detail. Okay, so let me start here. This is the VNT. So I'm going to hold it like this. You see that stud is skew. You see that? So when this, it fits in over there. So when this, where's the compressor wheel? When this thing broke off, okay, this thing went sideways, not stayed upright, it went south. Okay, and it start hitting, let me just get that bearing there, start hitting this VNT casing, and so hard that the thing even went skew. So this thing is fucked. But this is what your VNT looks like on your 2 liter. Okay, and then your VNT will hook in there, and then this guide normally will go in there. Okay, so here is for that VNT to move it, and that's your guide to keep it in place. But this thing is now so stuck because it's totally skew, and in the center is mortu. There's no other word for it. Okay, and this turbo wasn't even set up right, and you look at this turbo, there's not much left of it. Okay, that's why you must take off the whole system, the intercooler, the pipes, the other side of the pipes, and then clean everything. Clean your manifold air pressure sensor. So there's your manifold air pressure sensor. It also needs to be cleaned. Okay, so the only thing I can use here is this compressor and this. That's it. Well, so this is basically just spares. Okay, so the core is gone. Okay, there's nothing I can do with that, nothing I can do with this, nothing I can do with that. So this I will just use for space. But that's how critical it is. So your turbo needs to be set up right. It isn't set up right. The electronic actuator works in a funny way. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Okay, but the mechanical side here needs to be set up right, and it needs to how do you say it? It needs to work in unity with the actuator and the actuator with the ECU. Otherwise, it will go into limp mode. Okay, but here you see this can be machined. But if I use this and I get a new core and I get a new VNT, stuff like that, I cannot fit a standard compressor wheel in here anymore. This thing is too fucked up. Sorry for the word. Okay, so I need to go to stage 1 at least, or 1.5 if I want to fix this problem. Okay, so my 1 and 1.5 is actually worked out to perfection for this BV43 VNT turbo. It's actually a Borg Warner turbo, but I copied of it. Okay, it's like the Jetor T2. It's a copy of a Land Rover. It's not a Land Rover, but it's just a copy idea of it, but it's not a real thing. So this is not a Borg Warner real thing. It's a copy of it. So these things are so sensitive. You cannot make one mistake on these things, and it's going to cost you a hell of a lot of money. Even the upgrades that I do here, I'm so full of shit when I do this, and how it gets assembled, how it needs to be assembled, how in the position that this thing will go on here, and this one on there, and this one in there. If you make one mistake, this whole thing is it will blow in a matter of minutes. It won't even take that long. Okay, it's very critical. So even the boost pipes that I built, I'm really full of nonsense, because I do this. I started doing this for myself, not for you guys. I did it for myself, so I wanted it to last. This looks like any normal boost pipe for any other guy is building, but it's a lot stronger. And the end pieces here, it's super strong. And once that pipe is over there, you got a better chance to become a president and getting it off. Okay. And if you look at the clamps that I'm using, this is serious clamps that I'm using. It's maybe an overkill, but it's nice and wide, and it will grip and it will not come off. And also when you go to the other side, you know, it's a strong pipe. And then this pipe is now on for a few years already. No hassles whatsoever. Okay, I know there's some guys that's copying it to do it. By all means, go ahead. Okay, but the stuff that I'm using, especially on the end caps, is very, very strong. Well, the pipe is a little bit stronger than the normal pipes, but I prefer it like that. This is G-XPERT, so yeah, I must still put a cover on. But this guy is like pushing it, you know, he's just driving like crazy. He's taking no prisoners. Okay, guys, so I hope you guys take it serious, because what I'm doing here, I just want to help, you know. I don't have to, I guess, but I like what I do. This I do for fun. Okay, I used to build race cars, I used to build race bikes, I used to build custom bikes, I used to build vehicles for the army. I am an autolec, I can weld, I can do hydraulics, I do pneumatics, and I'm a nutritionist, so I can keep people healthy so they can enjoy their GWMs for much longer. Okay, so and whatever I do it to please myself. If I'm not happy with it, then I will work until late. Look, it's late now already. I've worked on G-XPERT to get that thing ready, and I found the problem why it did what it did. So I don't know if the guys from Custom Tune push up the rail pressure. Why? I don't know. Okay, but don't just push up something, you know. I've let them do a EGR totally delete, 3 stages delete. Okay, they didn't do it right the first time, so I took it back to them, and the car went into limp mode. Okay, so they did it right now, but now suddenly the rail pressure is much higher, and the EGTs goes up like crazy, and the fuel pressure goes up like crazy. So fucking hell, I must get a computer and link with William, because he's the only one that I know I can trust that can do things right and not mess things up. He understands things. These other guys, I think they're just comparing diesel to petrol. What the hell? You don't do things like that. Diesel doesn't work like that at all. You cannot just push up the fuel. You're not going to cool the motor down. You're going to cause it to overheat and cause all kind of nonsense. So I'll figure out something. But yeah, but I found the problem on that one, and then lucky I've got a good tool. It cost me a hell of a lot of money, but it's worth it in the end, I must say. So yeah, if you guys need my help, I service the gearboxes. I've done with Aubrey's, driving really nice. I service the gearboxes because GWM doesn't do it. Fuck, they don't even know how much oil must go in there. What the hell? And then I also service this. I'm using even a better oil that I previously used, which was working perfectly fine. But I found another oil, a little bit more, not a lot more, but a little bit more. But it's totally worth it. There's like no ash in it whatsoever, and that's a good thing, especially on a diesel, especially on the newer engines. You don't want the oil that's got ash in. A3, A4, it's ash. You don't want it in there. Okay, C2, C3 based full synthetic oil, yes, perfectly fine. But it can be costly, and the viscosity is not it's not too high, but the flow is pretty good. The flash point is pretty good. So yeah, so I'll be putting this new oil in from Monday. Maurice is bringing his bucket to me also. He wants service. He wants boost pipes. I need to set up the turbo. yeah, something like that. He wants a stage 1 also. It's a bit expensive now maybe, but he wants a lot of things done. The guy is on the right track, you know. I just wish the guys will take what I'm doing more serious. Yes, I know I made more of a noise, okay, a complaint when I had mine, because GWM just don't give a fuck, okay. Clearly they don't, okay. This is a good vehicle, okay, but now they're messing it up with the funny attitude, like don't care. That's how I feel, okay. There's Jaco's bakkie. His actuator broke on between 90 and 80%, okay, teeth inside, but you cannot open it because it's a sealed unit. They don't keep stock for it. It will maybe take 5 months to get a new turbo, complete new turbo, and then the bakkie needs to stand by them for 5-6 months. Fucking hell, why? And they know the actuators break on these and the Havals, so pure logic, it will tend to break on the P300 and the P500 and stuff like that. So what the hell? Okay, I sound like a woman. Okay, but anyway, if you guys just take me serious, then you guys can enjoy your bakkies. That's all I'm trying to do. I am full of shit, but I just want the bakkies right. Okay, that's all I want.